Hello, everyone, and welcome to Angel Healing House, and welcome to Tarot Tuesdays, where we explore all things tarot, and I present a general tarot reading for the upcoming week of August the 3rd through August the 8th, 2022. My name is Claire Candy Hough, and my name is also Angel Ariel, as I had an angelic walk-in experience on January 11th of 2003. I'd like to welcome back my loyal subscribers. It's lovely to be in your energies once more, and thank you so much for liking and sharing and subscribing to these YouTube videos, as it does help my channel to grow. And for those who have found the Claire Candy Hough YouTube channel for the very first time, let me share a little bit about myself. Through my full-time business, Angel Healing House, for the past 20 years, I am a Reiki master teacher, having taught hundreds and hundreds of Reiki practitioners and master teachers around the world. I am also a intuitive, a clairvoyant, a psychic tarot card reader. I also do past life clearings and also ancestral healings. And as I mentioned, I am the author of several #1 Amazon International best-selling books. To find out more about my services and to book sessions, please do call Angel Healing House on 831-277-3716, and do remember that's Pacific Standard Time, as we are in lovely Santa Monica, California. Or you can go to my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com. Now, I'd like to give a big shout out and a thank you to those who have made donations to my PayPal account for my free weekly content. If you'd like to make a donation, I've left my PayPal link in the description box down below with all of my contact information. You know, everyone, when one starts to read tarot, learning the symbols and their meanings can be very daunting. But like with all new information that we hope to learn, it helps to go slowly. Don't try and learn all the meanings at once. Gradually build up this whole new language and this whole new way of interpreting this wonderful tool of divination. You know, I remember when I began to read tarot, I would make time to sit in quiet reflection, and I would pick up one card at a time and just look at it and see what impression it made on me without knowing its traditional meaning. Whatever information I received from the card intuitively, I then wrote down the card and that impression in a tarot journal. Now, after I had gone through all of the 78 cards, it was only then that I delved into learning their traditional meanings. By initially reflecting on the cards without any knowledge of the traditional symbols or their meanings, I allowed my intuition to freely wander, unencumbered, not influenced in any way as to what impressions I should be receiving. You know, by doing this, we slowly build up and strengthen our psychic muscle, which after all is such an important part of reading tarot, because tarot is not merely delivering verbatim the traditional meanings of the cards that come along with the little booklet. Yes, I've often said we need to know those traditional symbols and meanings, but we need to then almost forget them as we marry our intuition, the intuitive impressions that we channel, and then we marry those with the meanings of the cards. You know, when I teach tarot to my tarot students, I always start them off with the Rider-Waite deck, as it's the most widely used deck in the world, and it came to be so popular because of its clear use of its symbols and their connection to the cards' traditional meanings. There are many decks like my Angel Healing House tarot deck that follow the traditional symbols and the meanings. After one has learned the traditional meanings, possibly even more daunting are the choices that one has when it comes to choosing a tarot deck, which we resonate with and that we feel comfortable in using. Last time I checked, there seemed to be tarot decks to suit everyone's liking. There were tarot decks based on angels and fairies and dogs and cats, gardening, dragons, tarot cards that had to do with the Arthurian legends, Druidic traditions, Native American tarot cards, Hawaiian-based tarot cards. The list goes on and on. There are even Alice in Wonderland tarot cards based on Disney princesses, and cards even based on movies, like the tarot card deck based on the movie Labyrinth with David Bowie. Along with deciding what themed cards we will choose, there are many decks that have completely branched off from following the traditional symbols and their meanings, and although they may follow the pattern of the major arcana and the minor arcana cards and the four suits in tarot, which are the wands, our vision, our creativity, and our ideas, and the cups, which focus on our emotions, the swords, which are about mental clarity and our thoughts, and the pentacles, which are about our monetary and material possessions. The illustrations will not make any sense if one tries to apply the symbolism of traditional decks. For these decks that have branched off, some people call them alternative decks, that have branched off from the traditional meanings. Now, if one chooses to read with a non-traditional deck and to gain mastery over using it, it will greatly help to spend time with the cards, just as I did with my tarot journal when I first was introduced to tarot. Now, through my many years of reading tarot, with each deck I acquired, I've made time for my tarot meditation with uninterrupted time in order to get to know the cards. Pick one up at a time. I like to go in order from the Fool to the universe or the world. But, you don't have to go in order, and you can choose whichever card you wish to start with. Take a few moments to look at the card and see what is the impression that you pick up. Allow your intuition to take you into the story of the card. You look at the scenery, if there are any characters, the interplay between the images, the colors are all there for you to stamp your personal impression on it, and then write down those impressions. By keeping notes, we may start to see patterns and common themes running through our intuitive messages and discover so much more. When weighing up all of our buying options as to whether we choose a non-traditional or a traditional-based deck, there are pros and cons to consider. Now, one of the biggest pros when it comes to an alternative deck that does not follow the traditional meanings is that our intuitions have absolutely free rein to wander through the images and not be influenced by any preconceived information of what that card actually means. Now, one of the cons that I have found is that decks that do not follow traditional meanings, they may be harder to learn, and they can be frustrating for those who are beginning to read tarot, and frustrating for those who are beginning to give readings. This may actually create a hesitancy within some people to give readings because they do not have a solid foundation of the traditional, not just the traditional, but the usual meanings of the cards. While the illustrations may be imaginative and intriguing, they may be too abstract for the reader to apply to the issues that are being asked. So I'm going to use this deck as an example, which I bought this week. Let me just grab the box and give it a big shout out because I absolutely adore it. It's called the Tarot of Mystical Moments. And it's by the same tarot illustrator, the same author of this wonderful oracle, which is the Oracle of Mystical Moments. So they are a 78 card deck, and they don't follow the traditional illustrations that the Rider-Waite deck is based on. And so many decks these days are doing interpretive illustrations of the cards, and it's wonderful to see what the illustrators and the authors come up with for their tarot decks. So let's do one more shuffle. I'm going to pull 5 cards before I get to our traditional Celtic cross. I'm going to pull 5 cards and just read from the cards, illustrations. Now, they're fairly new to me. I've gone through the full deck and just gotten my impressions of what these beautiful illustrations are. But let me just do one more. 1, 2, 3, and see what we come up with. Okay, first card. That's the illustration. Now, this illustration, the impression that I'm getting is that the lilies are a symbol of rebirth. There's a renewal. There's a rebirth happening. And she's opening up her skin to reveal something about herself. There's also a butterfly there, which I always equate with transformation. Everything about this card is about revealing our true selves, revealing our true natures, revealing our authenticity. Now, this could be taken as individually. This can be also taken as a collective, where all of the screens are drawn back so we can see what has been happening here on planet Earth in order for us to reveal truth and justice, in order for us to step forward in our authenticity. What I'm hearing is to step forward as powerful, sovereign, multidimensional beings, light beings on a planet of light. So this is about being authentic, and finally being able to step forward and show that authenticity and who we truly are to the world. And so that's the first card we have. Now let's see what the story is. We have a rebirth here, possibly a new phase of life, a new beginning here with the lilies and the transformation with the butterfly. But let's go. The next message in the story. The next one that comes out is this one. Just take a moment to look at it. We can see that he has a snail helmet, or could be his hair. It looks to me like a snail, which for me means things have been slow. Things have perhaps not moved as quickly as many of us would want it to. And he also has stars. I don't know if you can see them. Stars on his coat or his jacket there. And he's holding a key. Now this means he's not holding many keys, he's holding one key. This tells me that along with this authenticity and this wishing to show more of our real selves to the world, that we will now be given the key. We'll now be given the key to unlock what's written in the stars. To unlock what's written in the stars for us. Many people say that we, like myself, that we write a contract for as spirit in this human vessel that we're in. We've completed a cycle. And in completing a cycle, we have to complete a cycle before we're given that key in order to unlock what we need to unlock. This is also, what I'm picking up, is also a new beginning for us. Just the start of unlocking that door. Or how we're going to unlock that door. Okay, so we've built on those two cards with just that illustration. Now let's go see what the next card is going to be. Okay. Well, what do we see here? We see a lady in a garden. What she's holding on to? She's holding on to a house. Yes, she's holding on to a house. And there are locks on that gate. 1, 2, 3, 4 locks on that gate. What did we see in the former card? We saw a key. So the impression that I'm getting is that the house is our stability. The house is our, well, not only our stability, but our security, where we get our security from, where we get our stability from, and our strong foundation. And many of us have felt like, we didn't have a very strong foundation to step on, or to be a part of, or to feel like we were secure or stable. And now we're going to be given those keys, the key to unlock those locks that have stopped us from feeling secure or stable. They're saying that many people will be moving. Many people will, because they're where they are no longer gives them a sense of stability, and they will be shown where to move. So that's the story in these 3 cards. Let's pull another card and see what comes out. The 3 of Pentacles comes out following that. Well, there we go. It helps to not see that the 3 of Pentacles, but we can see a lady there. We can see a lady there, and she's got the 2 birds helping her. And they look like they have hammers in their hands. So they're building this brick wall, and that's telling me that forces are going to come together to build a strong, collaborate and connect to build a strong foundation. The foundation here, which we will unlock, and brick by brick, we are building this new era of light on planet Earth. I love that the birds are green, and you pick up so much from tarot with the colors. Green is a green healing color. Red is also that color of moving forward with courage and boldness. But I love that they're collaborating together to build a stronger foundation, a foundation that will be unlocked for us. And the next card that's coming out for us is the Fool card. And in this deck, this lass here is stepping on. Now, once we get together and collaborate and connect, we are starting a new cycle. That's what we're doing. We're starting a new cycle. And on the path that she's walking, it actually shows that there's some kind of an alligator there. There's an alligator there. So we might be stepping on a new path that we feel is unknown to us, but this will be something that we have all the skills and the abilities to step on, and we have to have the faith and trust that when we're given something and our intuitive abilities tell us to move forward, we will step forward. So you can see that the illustrations on the cards give us an indication of an impression, if you will. The impressions that we get are so important because that, yes, they are individualized, and yes, they will be the channeled information that we need when the time comes to give either ourselves a reading or others. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a 10-card traditional Celtic cross reading. Then I'm going to layer each card with a card from this new deck to see what else we can add to the message that comes in. Okay, so the first card that is coming out is this card, is the Knight of Swords. We are entering a time. We are entering a time this August when things are going to move very quickly. Our lives are going to get very busy after so long of being many people feeling like they've been stagnant or that they didn't get any information or knowledge, or it seemed like there were crickets out there when we would send out our work into the world and nothing was coming back. Now things are going to start speeding up again, because now is the time for us to step forward. Now is the time for us to receive that information, that very important information, that key that will bring us that opportunity to show our authentic selves, and then to unlock those things that will lead to our stability and our security, and help us to connect with those people from our soul tribe to create those really strong, stable foundations. So we're entering a very, very busy time. Now, in the general, in Celtic Cross, the first position is our general situation. So general situation is telling us that things are going to get very busy. And when I went to the cards, let me just put that down and do a shuffle. And I'll pull another card. Okay. Pull another card to help layer. Find the layer in the meaning over here. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. What goes with the Knight of Swords? The Emperor. Let's have a look at that card. It is quite untraditional. But we see that he has a building on his head. And we see that the Emperor has branches. The branches in his mouth. Well, this is telling me that our busyness is going to come from a branching out in our lives. Okay? That's the impression that I'm getting. Branching out in ways that we can be in authority, in ways that we could, show our expertise in certain areas. And we're going to be branching out, could be in moving locations. It could be branching out to different new careers, new jobs, new business opportunities, all of those things. Ways I'm hearing now, ways that we can boss up and bring all the spiritual knowledge that we know and we have taken to heart and practically implemented in our lives, and to be able to then mentor and to teach others. So that's the layering from those two cards. I love this. Let's go to the next card that comes out for us. Next card is what's helping or hindering us. And the next card that comes out for us is the Ten of Pentacles. I don't know about you, but I think this is going to be helping us. The first word I'm hearing is our legacy. Our legacy is what we are going to be leaving behind as individuals and as collectives going through this extraordinary time of transformation and metamorphosis of our planet, going from a very dark planet into a planet of light, of prosperity, truth, and justice, and peace, and love. The Ten of Pentacles is also a happy family card, traditionally. It could be a card of inheritance as well. We inherit so many things, and a lot of people equate that with money. We could inherit a peace of mind. We could inherit more love. We could inherit, the wisdom being handed down from the ages. But this is the highest abundance card, that feeling of coming home. They're also telling me that with it being a 10, it is a new beginning around that feeling of being home. So, you could be moving. You could be moving to a new home where you feel more comfortable or in greater resonance. It could be also bringing your soul family tribe together and collaborating and working together, as we saw in the previous cards about working together. So let's see what the layering card is, layering the messages. This card is the Chariot. Well, that's the second snail that we've seen, and that's interesting. So the Chariot is the card of movement, and I keep talking about moving, but movement. It's a card of rewards and promotions. Yes, many people will see that physical manifestation of more money or more material possessions or material goods coming in, but there is going to be movement around this feeling of abundance in our lives. And it's like shaking off ourselves after a cycle of, yes, holding our vibrational frequencies high for the light, and now we get to experience the rewards coming in the Ten of Pentacles. So that's a beautiful layering card there. Let's go to the next card and see what comes out. So in a traditional tarot card, Celtic card reading, the bottom card is the root or the base of the reading, and this is the Two of Wands. Now, the Two of Wands is the world is your oyster. What is it that you would love to do or be or have? Because in the fifth dimension and higher, there are no restrictions. There are no constrictions on our lives, and it's only that which you desire. So there's going to be attainment. There's also, the twos are about partnership and coming together. But they're saying more about partnership with yourself, coming home to yourself. And then it's like the whole world is ours, because we know that each and every one of us is creating our own reality. So we might as well do it consciously, and we might as well dream big. What is the layering card for this too? But the Seven of Pentacles. Okay. In the Seven of Pentacles card here, we see a lass, and she's sitting at the top of a tree, and she has an apple. And the apple is cut open, and there are seeds in it. And so this is telling me that those things that we planted, those seeds that we planted will blossom now. They have all the energy behind them to be able, this is our projects, this is our things that we put out in the world, things that we've shared with others, will now start to blossom and bloom and really bring in a harvest for us and bring us the world in that respect that we want to create. So that's a beautiful layering card there, and the seeds blooming and blossoming for us. Next card that's coming out for us is in the past. In the past is the Four of Cups, and this, in traditional tarot, means that this person is either bored or apathetic, or they're just staring at their 3 cups and they're wishing and they're wanting for that 4th cup to come in to satisfy their heartfelt desires, their longings, and this maybe been the card of waiting, just waiting for something to come in. But we are no longer, since that's in the past, it's telling us that waiting for that stability or that security and that strong foundation to come in is something that has it was in the past, and we've completed that cycle of waiting. Let's see what that next layering card is. The next layering card is the Lovers. Okay, so we see I love this card. We see a girl, and she's hugging a bluebird with a top hat. Okay, so the layering on this card is that it's beautiful. The bluebird always is, for me, the bluebird of happiness. Oh, look at that. We have those white butterflies which speak about new beginnings. And the Lover's card is about the marriage of things coming together. And then she's got also a butterfly in her hand, and things transforming for us. So really, it really is a time where this waiting is going to be in the past, and the bluebird of happiness with his lovely top hat on, coming in style, will now become a reality, and so many things will become married together. I love that. Okay. Next card is what is crowning the reading. The higher consciousness, some people call it. I like to call it the umbrella. The umbrella is the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is the Knight of movement. Now, it's interesting here. When you look at tarot as a story, we have the Knight of Swords, which is, look at that. He is moving. Things are on the move. The Chariot card is a card of traveling and movement. The Knight of Wands is a card of moving, of traveling, of things speeding up in our lives. So, and look at what is on that knight's tunic. It's the Ouroboros. An Ouroboros is a snake or a reptile eating its tail, coming full circle. We've completed the cycle, and now we're ready to charge off. We're ready to charge off, and the nights are always about action in the tarot. So, lots and lots of movements. Let's see what the layering card for this one is. Well, I love this. The layering card shows an angel. She looks like she's naked, and she's in a cage, but the cage door is open. Now, this means that we will now be given the information to leave our maybe comfortable, familiar cages and to go out in the world like the knights do. I mean, we're not going to go out and slay the dragon or rescue the damsel, or maybe we will find buried treasure. Who knows? But we will no longer be held back or captive. And most of the time being held and captive has to do with ourselves and nothing externally, But the Knight of Wands is telling us now is the time to make movement forward. And I love the layering. When we make this movement here with the, this is the Eight of Swords, it's going to be divinely orchestrated. by the sign of the angel's wings there. And we will maybe feel new and naked as we move forward, but know that we are always guided and protected no matter where we are. And with her being naked, it could be that we are being reborn once again, just like we saw in the lilies and the revealing of ourselves, our authentic selves to the world without any trappings and just showing ourselves. The next card in a traditional Celtic cross is the position is the near future. The near future tells us that communication is coming in fast, speedy. I love this reading. The Knight of Wands is fast, speedy. The Knight of Swords, fast, speedy. The Chariot, fast, speedy. Things are going to change rapidly as we go into August. The Eight of Wands is about emails. It's about phone calls. It could be snail mail. It could be anything, any communications, dialogues, conversations that get us to take quick action on something. And the layering card there that we have is the Queen of Cups. This is going to be something that's going to really make us very happy. It's going to touch us at a very deep emotional level. Now, this could be something either individually or something collectively that brings more truth and justice to the planet. They're saying it's not an either or because it's going to work individually in the collective conscious, and it's also going to work as a collective, that we are going to feel more emotionally fulfilled because of this news coming in. And there's that layering. You see how her hair is just flowing freely. This freedom, this feeling of liberation and freedom that we will be having, which from a planetary point of view is right on target, because there's the Uranus North Node conjunction that we're in at the present moment, and Uranus is the planet of sudden, unexpected changes to bring liberation and freedom and help things to flow more freely in our lives. There we go. So there we go. Now the next position is our psychological state. And I love that it's the star. We've come home to ourselves. We're the star in our own firmament. This is about hopes and wishes coming true. But they're also telling me that the star is about our galactic family and how many of us will be connecting more and more with our galactic families and be in greater connection, especially during this Lionsgate portal that we're in now from July 26th to August 12th, which is opening ourselves up to more and more of our multidimensional natures. Could be that some are going to find themselves in the spotlight. Some of us are going to be thrust into those positions, very public positions. But I love the star. The star is such a hopeful card. It's beautiful. So the layering card for the star here is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands in this card shows a person in a position where she is dictating a chess game. She's so much larger than the other people. And the 5 is the number of change here. So rather than the traditional meaning of the Five of Wands, this is, and with her being so much larger, this is being seen. And there are so many cards here about being, not necessarily in the spotlight, but being seen, being revealed, and revealing ourselves to be our authentic selves and showing that with the world, showing that to the world. The next card that comes out is something that we can't control. It's an unseen force. Some people say that it's how our environment sees us. Oh, and I love this. It's the Chariot. This is the second time that the Chariot has come out. So the Chariot is the card of rewards and recognition, and that it follows that Star card is very telling, because the Star card is about being in the spotlight, and the Chariot is about movement. It's about traveling, promotion, recognition, rewards, all of those things. And I just love all the movement that is in this reading today. The next layering card we have is the Six of Pentacles. And this is the card, the reciprocity card, the card of giving and receiving. And so the layering we see in this is people giving to us, and us being at a stage, many people being at a stage where they're open to receive. There's just such a gentle feeling about this card. This card here, in the layering card, in the Tarot of Mystical Moments, it's a card of feeling like we're being taken care of and our needs are being met. And all we need to do now is to open up to receive. We don't need to push anything. Allow yourself to, allow yourself to open to receive the rewards and maybe the promotions or the recognition that is so rightfully yours, and give yourself credit for this time of receiving. I really do love this. It's a beautiful layering on this card. The next card is our hopes and fears. And remember that our hopes can also be our fears. We hope that it's going to come true, but then if it comes true, then we're fearful about something else happening. Oh, the next card is the Empress. The Empress is, we hope that we're going to be giving birth to something, that it's going to manifest like the beautiful harvest, and we're going to feel so abundant in it, and it's going to give us an opportunity to be creative and to sort of bring forth those things that we have been working on and having them met, and just this beautiful feeling of seeing our efforts and our projects and things like that magically, absolutely magic, because 3 is the number of magic and miracles, magically manifesting for us in the world. And the layering card here is the Empress. Oh my goodness. So we have our hopes are the Empress, and our fear is the Empress, is that, to be seen as abundant, to be seen as pregnant with possibilities and bringing them forth. And, the Empress does not make any excuses. She doesn't hesitate showing herself. There is the sign of Venus, which is the sign of love. And here, on this card, the layering card, we see that there's the baby there that's waiting to be born and blossom forth. So the hope is that, very strong hope there, is that our world will blossom and our world will just bloom. But that's also the fear as well, A lot of people say, oh my gosh, I'm going to be given more responsibility. I'm going to be seen more in the public eye. I'm going to be, all of these things. But just take it one baby step at a time. We're never given anything more than we can possibly handle at one time. And then the final outcome for this, I love this, is the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is again, and the Four of Wands is the success card. It's the card of recognition. It's the card of celebration, celebrating all of our hard work, having gone through this enormous cycle of transforming and clearing and cleansing and healing. Many people call this the 1111 card, which is coming home to our mastery, coming home to our divine eternal natures, and there's a home in there as well. So many people are going to be moving, many people are going to be shifting and receiving the recognition for their hard work and efforts. And the layering card that we have here is the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles, pages bring messages, and the Pentacles here. I love this. I love this, is that there's a dragonfly there. The dragonfly is about change in our lives. There's a watering can, and about how our efforts are going to be watered and how things are going to change for us to, again, we see blossoming there in that beautiful garden. So I hope all of that has been helpful for you. We are at a time of movement. We are at a time of change on planet Earth, this great metamorphosis, this great shift. While I'm shuffling, let's make some magic to close out this Tarot Tuesday. Many of my clients, my Angel Healing House clients, have been saying that they are anticipating something new on the horizon for themselves. They're very antsy. They feel like they have butterflies in their tummy, and they don't know what to do. The greatest thing that you can do at the moment is really not push the river of life. Is to ground yourself in Mother Nature. When you're feeling like this, go out and connect with the beauty of Mother Nature. There's nothing that when you get into the higher dimensional frequencies, which is happening, and I'm going to be speaking about the cities of light, which so many people are interested in, on my Angel Healing House Blog Talk Radio show this coming Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And how we are shifting to such a higher dimensional frequency that we will be able to easily connect with our galactic families, off-world families, and that we are transforming and crystallining into light beings. And the only thing that we need to do now, we don't need to push anything in the higher dimensional frequencies. All we need to do is allow ourselves to just be and to do those things that bring us great joy. That's the biggest thing that they're saying to do. Create and do those things that bring us joy. Because when we're in our joy and when we're creating those things, we're connected to the channel. We're connected to the divine. And we can't be anything but joyful and passionate and excited when we're bringing forth those things that we love. Whoops, that almost came out. Okay, that did come out. Okay. All right. The posse of angels, my angelic family, want us to know that we're on target. We're on target. If you were not on target, then the posse of it, then your angels and your spirit guides would come in, and they can't interfere with your free will, but they would make it very difficult for you to be where you are. Things would change so rapidly, but know that you will be given a sign as to how to move forward now. And it says, follow your ideal life's path. Your ideal life's path is what you love doing. What you love doing, and what you would probably do it if you weren't getting paid for it. You just absolutely love it, love doing it. So they want you to know that you're on target. The next card that flew out was successful career. And this one says a happy working environment, pay rises, and promotions. So many of us now that we've completed this cycle, we'll be moving. There are so many moving cars there, moving into a successful career, job, business opportunity, something which then we can use our gifts, our talents, and our abilities to create this new world of light. Now, this one then came out. It's called The Elements, and it says that the elements of fire, air, earth, water combine to create powerful protective boundaries, spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. And they said that this card came out specifically because they want us now to see ourselves not just as physical beings, but as multidimensional beings. And being multidimensional beings, we are fire, we're air, we're earth, we are water. I like to add the fifth element, which is love. And for us to make sure that we attend to each and every one of those. Make sure, let's say, for air, that our thoughts and our feelings are of the highest vibrational frequency. And make sure fire, which are our ideas and our creativity and our fired up actions, make sure that they're done through unconditional love, compassion, and forgiveness. Those things of the earth. Make sure we're grounded in Mother Nature. We're no different, each and every one of us, than Mother Nature. We are one with her. And of course, the water is our emotions. Make sure that our emotions are balanced and that we're not giving away to everything. And of course, there's unconditional love. Okay, and the next card for us is the card of achievement. And they're saying, win the reward, the accolade, or the contract. Two Chariot cards came out. And both of those are about promotion, reward, and recognition. So I hope all of that has been helpful for you today. If you'd like to find out more about my services, please do go to angelhealinghouse.com. All that contact information for my services and my books are in the description box down below. Oh, and I must say that my books are also available on Amazon as ebook and print. And if you like to listen to and purchase and download audiobooks, two of my #1 Amazon bestsellers are on Audible.com. Go out, everyone, and fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. I'm wishing you love and, as always, angel blessings. And I look so forward to speaking with you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.